All right. Looks like we got sound OBS. Chat's back. And let's go ahead and get going. So very brief introduction. Hello, everybody. If you might be new, my name is Tim. Go by foamyguy on Discord and GitHub, as well as Twitch and YouTube. I'll be working on CircuitPython in the stream. So I have loaded up here a Feather RP2040. And if you're interested in kind of the back story behind the project that I'm working on, you can watch the last, I think, 2 streams or so. You can find those on Twitch or YouTube. And it will kind of go through what I am trying to do with this Feather. But if you're brand new and you don't know anything about what we're working on, CircuitPython is a version of Python that runs on these tiny computers, such as this Feather right here. And basically, this is going to show up as a thumb drive on your computer. So I have this drive right here, which is essentially a thumb drive, just like I plugged it in with a USB port. And on the drive, there's a CodePy file. And on the CodePy file is where I write my CircuitPython code. And all I have to do is save it, and then the computer that is inside of this chip will go ahead and recognize that it changed and run the newest version. So if you're interested in CircuitPython, head over to circuitpython.org. You can learn more. If you want to get involved in the project, it is open source. You can click on contributing up here, and it will take you to a list of open PRs and open issues that you can help out with if you want to get involved but need help, or a point in the right direction or anything. You can join us on the Discord, which is, I think, linked down below. And that is also the chat that is showing on the screen, which is in the Adafruit Discord in the live broadcast chat room. And I will also try to keep an eye on the Twitch chat. But just as a heads up, we are... the stream does go out to YouTube, but I don't... I think I have finally figured out how to disable the YouTube chats. But I do seem to have to do it every time I start up a stream. So some days I may forget, but that's really the plan, is to disable the YouTube chat and just have folks go to Discord or Twitch if you do want to chat. I will also mention real quick, CircuitPython, it's an open source project, but it is primarily funded by this company, Adafruit. So they pay the team that works on CircuitPython full time, the core developers, the people who work on the libraries, who foster the community, run the meeting, and do all of the things related to the project and the community. They pay those folks, the ones that are working on it. So if you purchase your hardware from them, you are indirectly helping support the CircuitPython project. So you can, of course, buy devices that run CircuitPython, but you can also buy widgets, RGB lights, buzzers, beepers, sensors, anything and everything that you can plug into these devices and interact with. You can probably buy from them, and definitely all of us that work on the project would appreciate that. So I'm going to pretty much just dive right in. I will give a really quick high-level introduction, basically, to the project, which is basically we're trying to build a virtual version of this Feather that I have here on the camera inside of Minecraft, and hook it up in sync with the actual Feather plugged into my computer to make it so that all the I/O pins will send their state back and forth, essentially. So the physical I/O pins will send their state into Minecraft, and they will become redstone signals. So like if you press this physical key that I have right here, it could turn on a redstone circuit connected to the virtual Feather inside the game, or vice versa. If you have a button or a lever inside the game, you can hook that up with redstone in the game, and then output to like a physical LED or something on the actual Feather. I don't know what the camera is doing here. That was interesting. So we have this LED hooked up here, for instance, and you could hook up your redstone to the Feather in the game, and then have a lever or some other redstone circuit that turns that redstone on to set the pin high, and then it would turn this LED on, for instance. And to that end, we have created some code that runs on the feather. This is the CircuitPython code, which is essentially just listening on the serial port, waiting for commands to come in to set the pins to their various states. So I think I put some examples in here. Yeah. So a command will come in like this. You know, it starts with pin. It says which pin we're going to manipulate. And if it's a 1 or 0, we're turning it on or off. If it's an R, then we are setting it into read mode, where it will take readings on the physical feather and then print them back out so that Minecraft can see the changes and react to them inside the game. And so specifically what I'm doing is trying to troubleshoot why I don't continue getting the readings. So let's see, where are we? So let's, I'll show you what I mean. If we go to TO, we can connect to the CircuitPython device. So this is the serial connection to the physical feather. This is the exact same connection that Minecraft is going to communicate over. So I'll have to close my terminal here when the time comes, because we can only have one thing open at a time. But I can do something like, again, set the LED pin to high, for instance, to turn it on. So I guess I should go this way, right? Because I think the chat covers some of that. Let's do that this way. You see the terminal still? Yeah. And the image is not cut off too much either. Okay, perfect. We'll go that way. And so, you know, it's real simple. I just send it something like this. Pin D5 happens to be the one that the LED is connected to. So I gave it a 1. That turned it on. The light from my camera, let's see if I can, I don't know if I can cover up just the light. Still shine it through, really not very well. The light from the camera is throwing it off a bit, but this LED did turn on, and I could turn it off with a 0, and you could see the change right there if you were watching. I'll do it one more time if anybody was not looking at it. Maybe we'll turn the light off later on the camera to get better contrast. It's easier to see, but this is good enough for right now, and I like it nice and lighted so I can see what I'm doing when I am trying to hook stuff up to it. So that part is actually working fine. Our outputs to the physical feather are all good. We're able to turn this light on and off, no problem. The trouble is coming from the inputs from the physical feather. So if I go pin D11, happens to be the one that this key, this cherry key breakout is plugged into, and I go read, what we see is we get the first reading back. Values, D11 is false right now. And I can press the button and I get a new reading, D11 true. If I release the button, I get another new reading, D11 false. So it seems to be working right here. We're able to press and release the button. We get the true false values here. That's pretty much what we want. We want to send these into the game. But the problem is when I get into the game, it's not working like this. So let's do a Control-C, Control-D. Let's actually add something. So what I'm going to do is turn back on some spam. We have a comment in here. Let's do this one. Actually, you know what? Let's do, so that spam's a lot. Let's do once every 3 seconds. So this will spam some, but not as fast. Like, obviously, this is going really, really fast. This one prints twice. Why would it print twice? Oh, I guess because it's getting in two main loops in the same second. We could sleep. I don't really want to sleep though. Okay, well let's just use an actual wait mechanic like um, last zero. So we're gonna say actually if the current time, let's make a variable for current time. Current time. Hey there, Dexter. Happy New Year. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm excited to get this all hooked up. Current time. So if the current time is, if the current time, let's see, if the current time minus the, I'm gonna call this wait time even though I haven't declared it yet. If the current time minus the wait time is, actually, let's flop this around. The logic would be the same, but I think this makes more sense. Let's say if the last print time plus the wait time is greater than or equal to current time. No, less than. Less than or equal to current time. If we have waited long enough, the last time we ran plus the time we want to wait, if that is less than the current time, then we know we have passed this amount of wait time. Have I considered using the second USB serial? No, I did not know there were two USB serial. So I can have two connections, like two serial REPL consoles to the same microcontroller that don't interfere with each other. So I've figured I could do that maybe with TX and RX if I had like an FTDI converter or something like that. Huh. I think that I only get one, although I don't know how much I've actually checked. But sometimes it changes to one, or if I plug in one, I get a second. If I plug in two, I get an ACM one. So dev, let's go TTY star. What do we have? I have ACM 0, and then I have a bunch of S's. Do I have to turn on the second one? I'm on a Feather RP2040 right now. Yeah. Disable, enable. Okay. Okay, so there are two, and they kind of have the term console for one and data for one. And I'm guessing I do probably have to enable? Okay. Yeah, this seems super useful. Let's figure this out for sure. Because this will let us, I was trying to send my debug print statements into Minecraft also and then print them from there. But if I could actually just have a second connection. Let's see, how do we USB CDC? Is that part of the learn guide? I'm gonna move this over here. Hey, thanks for the tip on this. I had no idea there were two channels in there, basically. USB, what if we say CDC? Will that get us there? Customizing? Serial? They're like dark mode. Why does this look dark but the page is? Oh. Already in dark mode. Oh. USB CDC documentation. Okay, so yeah, that's the docs we were on, but we do need to enable. So here we go. So we want true, I would guess. Disable both. This is default. Enable both. Okay. That's easy enough, right? So we just need to make a bootpy, import, call enable. I love how easy things are. Boot. Import. Oh. Okay. Save this. All right, I never did define wait time. And so that does need, it needs a boot from the reset pin at least, right? Either reset pin or unplug, replug. Let's put a wait time. Wait time. I guess we're gonna wait, so we're trying to wait 3 seconds. This in seconds? Yeah. You know what else we need to do though is inside of here, we need to go this equals go time. It is in seconds. 3.0. Okay. There we go. We get 1 print every 3 seconds now. That's pretty good. Oh, does it? So prints would only go to one or the other, I guess, right? I would need to also initialize the other one and write to it. Is that right? Console is first. New serial object, okay. How do we initialize it? Does it say in here? Oops, this is not the guide. Does it say in here? Is this? This is the same page. Console. How do we initialize this? Let's see. We did call enable and boot. Oh, I wonder if we have to disable something. We could disable MIDI or something. I don't need that. Just serial. And create. Oh, you cannot create. Available insta. Okay, serials. It's a tuple. USB CDC serials. The tuple, and then I guess we have to choose either 0 or 1. We should get 2. And then we have read and write objects. And so I could just only write to this one. I just write when I want to basically have debugging print. Let's say, let's do def log message debug true. So let's say when we call log, we will if debug print message and then also write it to the second one, which we're going to get by saying USB CDC serials. USB CDC serials. So USB CDC, import USB, is it like this, CDC? I wonder what they look like. Okay, so I never did actually do the reset either. I'm gonna click the reset button right now. I remember which one it is. Yeah, we got it, okay. I'm gonna go to REPL. Import USB CDC, USB CDC dot serials. Has no serials dir USB. Oh, it looks like maybe this is out of date. It looks like we just have directly console and data. Ooh. Yeah, we have ACM1 now. So we could say to dev 1. And this is not the REPL. Yeah, so like Control C doesn't do anything. But if I go here, I could say USB CDC dot, I guess this is probably data dot write. Is there a write line? There's a read line and a read lines. A flush. No. Right. God, this probably does not just want a string then. Yeah. Right string. Nice. Okay. Okay. So we want also to say in here. So let's go like this. I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna say we don't even really need to import this. If debug, then we import this. Although, am I gonna get an error now though? I don't think Pylint will like that, but and then in here we're gonna go. Do we need to even? We don't even really need to do anything else, right? We could just call write to it. So in here we'll just say data.write. So we do need to convert to a byte string. How do we do that? Do we just call bytes? Bytes? No. Decode? Encode? Python convert string to byte? String? Bytes? Ah, bytes and then UTF-8. There we go. Okay. So then we'd say here bytes message UTF-8. Nice. Yeah, thank you. Right, so we're gonna go here. I'm gonna put also a new line, I think. So we're gonna go like this. Now we can just say whenever we have random prints, we can instead call log. And now we can see it. Oh, here. Ooh, I don't know if this one will work, because this is not a string. It's actually an exception. I don't know if we would want this. I don't know what would happen if we call bytes on an exception. We'll have to test that. Looks like we got them all, so let's save this. Let's look in here. Let's go Control D, back to this. Okay, so we got our TikToks. Oh. Just because we don't have an R? It is. Yeah, okay, that's better. This is what we want. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect. Well, I'm gonna make sure this still works. So in ACM 0, we can send an on in D5 1 turned on, okay, in D5 0 and it turned off. In D11 read, and we got false for the first reading. There's our true, our false, there's our true, there's our false. Everything's coming through to here as well. Perfect. So rerun with Control D and then Control T Q to disconnect TO. And now the next thing that might be weird is I just pretty much this code was assuming there was only one. On port. Whoop, 0 less than. I think this was the right name. Yeah, no worries. See you in a bit. System port name. I think this is how we get like dev tty. So this will print all of them. We can tell if. Let's put an I. I mean, they're going to be in order, but. Just print I also. Okay, this will print them all. If it turns out we need to use 1, then we can, but I mean, hopefully 0 still matches up with ACM 0. Hopefully this is just in order. Print them all, open the port. Yeah, should be fine. So let's build this. And we can run the server now. Which I had not started up yet. What we can do here. It'll take a minute to load as well. And we currently have the light off. I will go ahead and run this for now. I guess I'm not going to be changing the circuit for a minute. Okay. It's actually live? No, this died. Hmm. Okay. And so what did we leave this as? I think test pin. Huh. Didn't we send a read? Didn't we send a read? Huh. I feel like we lost the last thing I did yesterday. And it's just not in history. That is weird. I don't like that. Because so right here, this is a command for inside of Minecraft. I can run this command like in the chat. And when I run it, it executes this code. And so right now, so we're not actually opening this anymore. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, yeah. Okay, so really what it is I thought I commented this out. Maybe I uncommented it? Yeah, because we moved this into here because we needed scope. We needed access to the serial port, in fact, the same thing we were just looking at. So we needed access to COM port. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I don't know, I must have came back and uncommented this at some point. Okay, so when we run the command, it's still the same thing, it's just in the same file instead of a separate file like this one. When we run the command, this code gets executed. We send pin D5 to 1, we send D11 to read. So our LED should turn on, and then it should start reading the button pin and printing back to us the value. So I'm going to go here. We're looking in the separate port. We're getting our print every 3 seconds. Everything is looking good. I guess we're probably seeing this in the Minecraft log as well. Oh no. Well, that's not good. Oh, did I do that wrong? Maybe I didn't put I? Maybe I didn't put I. Yeah, okay. They are in the wrong order though, because that means that ACM 0 is 1. This is also not I. This is what we want, I. So run this. Okay. Test pin. Well, no, we don't want that. We want reload. Yeah, okay, so they're in the wrong order. So we need to fix that, because otherwise it's going to connect to 0, which is going to be confusingly ACM1, which is the one that we have open in TO here inside this window. But we needed to connect to 0. I wonder, what does the second port do for Where do we read? Okay, yeah, input I guess would always come from the console port, is ACM0. The default port, I will call it, the regular port, not the extra port. So we need to know, I guess let's just do this, int index of ACM0. -1. If this equals, nope, equals this, and set the index equals I. And then we need to do this down here. Okay, now it should always open ACM0. Okay, reload. Yeah. Okay. So we're seeing our messages come through every 3 seconds. And we're going to go, and we're seeing them here as well on ACM1. Perfect. So in here, we're going to say test pin, which is going to set the pin to D5 to high and then D11 to read. So D5 went to high, our LED came on, D11 went to read. We got our first response, and we have stopped receiving TikToks. Same thing here. We stopped, basically just stopped running. So this is good, I suppose. This tells us a little bit more about what the problem is. It tells us the problem is not like just solely communication, probably. Somehow we're stopping. We don't crash. So I'm gonna go kill the server. Connect back to 0. Pin D5 0. That still works. So it's like paused. Step through the logic? We got this the first time. Huh. See, and the really weird thing about this is that it keeps going. Keeps going if we're not connected in Minecraft. So we got to here, and values to send had stuff in it. We sent it. I guess let's say log after send values. Log after send in readings. I don't, this is gonna spam so fast though. Oh well. Save that. Yeah. So the problem is now we don't. It's not printing ever the other things. Or this is just going so fast we're not seeing them? Okay, let's not do this. Why don't we say this return true if we did send, and return false if we did not send. And then if so this will tell us if we returned from this function. And if we returned true specifically from this function, which we would right after we sent this. So if we go pin D11 read, we got our reading. We're continuing to get TikToks. I'm going to push the button. We got our true. And we got our after send values. We got our after send pent readings. I'm going to let go. We got both of our afters again. Okay, so now the question is, in Minecraft, do we get that? So I'm going to go REPL, restart, Control-T-Q. This is going to close out ACM0. ACM1 is still running. I'm going to restart the server. Got some snow coming down here. I wonder if we could make a smaller spawn area or something. I wonder if we could speed this up somehow. Yeah, we're not really stuck though. Excessive load time. Oh, it's this page, which is not going to load. Oh well. Okay, so we're getting our quick talks inside the Minecraft log. We currently have the light off. We'll connect, we'll say pin test. We'll turn the light on, it will go to read on the button. And we'll see if we returned from that function or not. This pin. We did. Then we basically didn't do anything else. That's weird. This is weird. Blank lines. So we finished logging. We logged this also. We returned true. We came back out to here. This was true. We logged this. We didn't print here, but it might have still executed. We just might have not been... Like, we would only print here if we hit the timing exactly right. So I think that my theory is we made it to the end of this loop and we're stuck inside read. So if we came inside read and there were bytes available, if there were bytes available, but they didn't get inputted, if this was true and then does input return? Does input return instantly? Because like when this runs normally, we loop over and over and over real fast. But that's probably because this is false. And when this is false, we don't do any of this stuff. We just return, which lets us go to the next iteration of the main loop. I'm thinking that this was true, but this never returns. Because we're not actually inputting. For some reason, this is true when it shouldn't be. That's my theory. So serial bytes were available. Okay, so I just saved this. Pretty much back to running normally here. Is it looking normal on this side too? Yeah, we got our 3 seconds. Our light's back to off. Just run it again. Spin? Yeah. Okay. So why are there bytes available? Or do we care why there are bytes available? So we have 2 ways to fix it. Either we need this to be false, which it seems like it should be, but for whatever reason it's true, then we get to here and nothing ever inputs. Because basically, we printed this, but we never printed this. So we could either solve this by making this be false, like it seems like it should be, or we could solve this by getting this thing to pass quicker. I guess it's probably going to be easier to fix this part. So why would we have bytes available? Let's look in the docs for bytes available and see if there's any clues about specifically what that means, serial bytes available. Maybe are we writing something extra from, but it's after we send, I wonder if our outgoing bytes are getting counted as bytes available? Whether any bytes are available to read on the USB serial input allows for polling to see whether to call the built-in input or wait. So okay, so should we not be closing this? I think we were closing it before too, though. So we're gonna go to just turning the LED on, and then we will see if we keep getting our TikTok messages. So we read all of this. Okay, so bytes were available. Okay, well, let's see if we keep getting /r/in. These were both the same. Let's see if we keep getting our TikToks coming into Minecraft after we set the LED only. Okay. So I guess we're in the stuck state right now, so I should have restarted before I reloaded. So I guess I'll just reset with this and then reload with this again, because I guess this probably won't auto like reconnect for me. Okay. We're getting our messages. Oh wow, what is... We found the breakpoint. Test pin. Okay, pin came on. No. Yeah. So we get the same thing. So this is not a problem with reading specifically. Do we need the in? Maybe we don't need this in. Maybe if R is the terminating character, then we would have sent this, and we would have sent a new line after it. Which I guess maybe is this blank line, I'm not sure. But then we'd be waiting for another R. So if that's the case, then that new line is our bytes available, and because it's not an R, it never counts as getting sent. So input never returns on the CircuitPython side. Seems like a decent theory. Okay, I'm gonna reset the feather. We're gonna reload here. Okay, getting our messages. Test pin. Nope, we're still stuck. So could printline be adding more stuff? Decompiler, I guess. That doesn't really tell me anything. Okay, so what is a print writer? Maybe I shouldn't be using a print writer. Java. It did execute though, so that's worth noting. We put the R here, we sent this, it received it, and it did the command, and it turned the pin on. So we don't need the new line. If nothing else, the new line was not necessary, seemingly. Java print writer. Terminates the current line by writing the separator string. So maybe we don't want that. Maybe we should just print. Yeah, because this would be just putting the new line back. So we actually had two new lines before, I guess. We're going to build this. We are going to reset the microcontroller. We're going to reload the plugin. Okay, got our messages. There we go. Yeah, print line. Print line screwed us. So now is the light on? Yeah. So now this keeps going. So we're probably fine now, right? If we just undo this one, now we can also read, and I bet it's going to work. Save this. Build this. Build this. Reset the microcontroller. Reload the plugin? Do we need to yeah, because I reset. We need to maybe make... We need to maybe make this repeating task check if the COM port is open or not, and if not, then open it. Because right now we only open the COM port inside onEnable, which is when the plugin first gets loaded. If we reset the microcontroller, this gets closed. Hopefully Java can see that it got closed. I don't actually know. Hopefully we can tell that that's closed, though, inside this repeating task, and then just reopen it. That way we would not have to reload the plugin every time we reset the microcontroller. But we are running now. We uncommented the read set, so we're going to turn the LED on and start reading from pin 11. This extra slash. This pin. And indeed, the LED is on. We're still getting output. So I'll go here. I'm going to push the button, and there it is. D11 is true now. If I release the button, D11 is false. And this is inside the Minecraft log. So Minecraft now knows when I press the button and when I release the button. Really, when the button changes states, I should say. Okay. That's pretty sweet. All right. We could get rid of some of the extra logging now. I think what I'll do is just comment it, though, in case we ever run into more trouble. We can turn it, because it did help us solve this. So let's just say we don't need all of this white space. Let's just say... we don't really need this anymore, or no, let's keep that. I still don't know if that's gonna work. We don't need this. We don't need this, but then it messes up our if statement. And don't really need the TikToks if this is going to be working. I'm going to save that, which is going to reset the microcontroller automatically. Right, yeah, we're not seeing this anymore, which is fine. That makes sense. We need to reload the plugin. And now lights off. We can say test pin. Light turned on. We're getting our reading. Press the button. Now it's true. Release the button. Now it's false. Press the button. Now it's true. True, false, true, false. Okay. Now we're getting pretty close. So now I want to, when we receive this, we want to spawn or despawn a redstone torch. And where do I want to do it? Can I just hard code a spot? Can we find the location the player is looking at? Get target block. So that was from like 2011. I suspect it might not be the case anymore. I'm finding that's kind of one of the issues with Minecraft modding is it's been along so long that like there's been several different APIs. So there's lots of out-of-date information. Trying to get the location where the player was looking. I thought get eye location, but apparently that's where they are standing. So I don't really care that much where they're looking. It doesn't have to be. I could do where they're standing. That'd be fine too. Players get target block exact. What is 5 though? Within 5 blocks reach. Get target block exact. So basically, like I want to choose a location where I'm going to spawn the torch and despawn the torch, and it needs to stay in the same location. So eventually these are all going to be hooked up to the pins around the outside of the feather, which my feathers are all messed up because my save got corrupted or something. But that's fine for now. Eventually my torches are going to go like inside here. And then I'll be able to have redstone leading away. Is that true? Maybe that's not true. I messed with this the other night, but I don't remember. Okay, yeah, that's hooked up. It does seem odd that when the torch is there, how do I break this? Okay. When the torch is there, the redstone looks off to me. And it stays off when I break the torch. Okay, so I'm not sure where I will put the redstone. I guess this is not working how I thought. Over here? No. That works. I guess we could do it that way. Yeah, that turns it off. Kind of like it being down inside of here, but if we had another block here, and we put this up here? No. What about here? Oh, we can't put it here. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll go with right here for now. I will have to go back to a non-wall torch. Standing torch, I guess. It's probably fine though. So I want to like find the location of one of these things and just basically be able to hard code it for now. So I'll go to the check command and let's just see if we can do what that thing said. This is getting the player location. This is doing serial port stuff. We don't need any of that. This will be the block data of the block the player is standing on. But I don't need the data, I need the location. And I would like to get the one we're looking at if possible. Target block exact. Max distance 5. Sure. What does this return? A block. Dot get location. They produce null pointer. Yeah, well, give it a try. Build this. We're going to call check this time. While we're looking at this tile. Check. Oh my gosh, the double slash. I need to figure out how to print to here. This is not the new version. Because we took this loop out. Oh, I never called reload. We're gonna build this one more time for good luck. Reload. Check. There we go. Okay, so this is our location. We are basically gonna spawn a torch here for now. It's going to be back in here, and it's going to be inside of our repeating task. I'm going to keep that in a comment just so I have it, and we're basically going to say get the string. String incoming. Just call it incoming, that's fine. Equals this. Oops. Incoming. Like the space, okay, here. Now let's say if incoming starts with values colon, right? This is what we made it start with. Yep. Then we will string array parts is equal to incoming dot split on the colon, and then JSON object states equals new JSON object. What? No. What? JSON object from parts 1, the part after the colon. This. No, we don't want that. We don't want any of that. What is all this? We're importing the wrong JSON object. How could we even import a JavaScript? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Why is there JSO object? No, I think it's uppercase, isn't it? Google, yeah, this is not what I want either. JSON object. Is it not? Java JSON object? This is an interface? Is this different in Android? Android JSON object? Huh. org.json JSON object. And this is javax.json. Does org.json not exist in Java? Yeah, this is an interface, which is not. Is there really not a? Is this really? This is blowing my mind right now. I've used this thing 100 times, probably more than 100 times, in Android. Is this really not in PC Java? Java org.json .json object. Is it so confused? Do I not, can I not import that? Import org.json. Yeah, we don't have that. Oh, well, that's a bummer. How do we use this? I guess we have this. Okay, well, let's try that, I guess. That's so weird, though. Where... I don't... Oh. Do I really need all of that? Java convert string to JSON object. From JSON. We don't have a class. Do I need a class? This is so crazy. I had no idea that that was like specific to Android. We have choices. JSON is what imported automatically? Yeah. So I guess we have access to that. Can we just omit class? I don't really have a class for it. Dang, I almost... Well, I don't know if it's easier or not, I guess. I almost regret using JSON now. Okay, so we're... Yeah, no, but this wants a student, though, right? We don't want a student. We want g dot from JSON type. Yeah, I don't want to type. Type. Everything takes a type. I want a JSON, just a hash map, like a JSON object. Just a regular, doesn't have a type. Here's org.json. Yeah, this is how I'm used to doing it. Why does this not work? Oh my gosh. This site is brutal. There's so many answers to all of my questions on this site, and I can't look at it in Firefox. Okay. Is this external? Plugins? Why would you use... Because I know how to, and it works, and it doesn't require as much code. Why would you question? boy, this is a bummer. So can I import that, or do I just really have to bite the bullet and use JSON? Can I really not keep it untyped? Can't really make a type for it because the keys could be any pin name. Like, I don't want to just hard code a class with every possible pin. What can it? Oh my goodness. JSON parse untyped? Can I just have a generic object? No, I don't want my class. I don't want a class. Can I just have a can't just have object because it's not going to know. So what is actually in ours is in true falses. We have a hash map of strings to booleans. And they'll always be the same. This is not hard-coded. So we're gonna have string to boolean. Why? What's wrong? Now what's wrong? Oh, this is not boolean. Okay. Create a map. I'm guessing this should be like this. From JSON, this is parts 1. Parts needs to be up here. What is this? Unchecked cast? Yeah, well. It'll be alright. Student. Yeah, no, we're not having a student. I don't want a student. So now I have a map. And so with this map, we could say E11 is what we care about if, so I'm just going to be hard coding this for right now. Eventually we'll make this a loop. We'll do things for each pin. But I'm going to say if, what, map contains key D11, right? Yeah, D11. If it contains D11, then get the value boolean cur state equals map.get D11. Okay, if cur state is true, else it's false. If it's true, we want to spawn the torch, and we want to do it right here. Which we do by making a location, which will not be any of these things, but instead will be these. Okay, x51. I don't know if we need ints. Oh, world. Why do I need a world? And I guess it makes sense I need a world. How do I get the world, though? Inside of here, I got the world from the player. But inside of here, we don't have a player, because this is just a repeating task. Get default world generator? That doesn't seem helpful. Get player? Nope, no get player. We need a world. Okay. World. Wait, what was that? Get server. What's the name of our world? Just world? Overworld? Name world? Craft world. Probably just world, I guess. $51, 76. 76 or 77? Maybe it should be 77. So we want to go one higher than the block we were looking at. Negative 514. Okay. Grab a location. Now it's like location.getBlock.set type material.redstone torch. Okay. We could get this here. Don't really need this on 3 lines now, I guess. And if it was false, we are going to set it to air. So we're getting the values, we're parsing them to our map. Maps pin names to booleans. If we have D11, get the boolean for it, create a location object. If the Boolean is true, set it to a redstone torch. If it was false, set it to air. Seems good to me. We have red. What is this? Oh, we don't. This in a semicolon? Okay, so far we have not received any of those things, which is because we don't have the read mode running. Or do we? We do? But we're not connected? Are we still connected? Maybe we do. We'll just try pressing it, I guess. Let's just try pressing it. Let me put this back. So, press the button. Oop, it crashed. Yeah. Of course we got an error parsing our JSON using this thing that I've never used before. All right, well, let's make sure it's trying to parse the right thing. Parts 1. Now I don't know if we're in read mode still. We are. Crashed again, which makes sense, but we should have a new print. Right, there's colons in JSON. Yeah. Okay, so we don't want this. We want this to be something else. Values. Pipe? Yeah. Okay, so I save this. We need to go back in here. We need to not split on colon, instead pipe. Save this, build this, build it again so the new one gets copied. The microcontroller reset because I saved CodePy. We go here, reload, which is not going to work, so we got double slashes, reload, let's get the log. Okay. So now we're not currently in read mode because our microcontroller reset. So we're going to go test pin, which is going to set the LED to high and put us into read mode. We got our D11 false. We did not raise any exceptions, but we also didn't print. Didn't we add a print? This is Java. This is not Java, rather, this is Python. Yeah, we didn't Print this. Right. Because this does not start with this anymore. Instead, it's this. Save this. Build. Build again. Reload. Okay, so now we should still be in read mode, I think. Crashed again. That's not what parts 1 should be. It starts with values. Split it on... Does this need to be escaped? Yeah. How did we get an A out of that? There's not even an A in that. Well, there's an A in values, I guess. What on earth does that do? Okay. Hopefully this will be a literal one. Aha! I push the button down. We have a torch. I let the button go. We don't have a torch. That is awesome. So now we could go like this. Doesn't really matter where I put it. I'll just do it here. We could make a piston. Oh, what? Why didn't that select? Okay. I think this is just me not knowing how to use a piston. There we go. There we have it. The piston in Minecraft activated by a physical button. Oh. Thank you. Why did we crash here, though, I wonder? Yeah. Set lenient? Do we get 2 of them? Did we get a second one while we were still processing one? Ow, does it actually... Still works. I think I just pressed it too fast and we got a second one. Yeah. Yeah. If the second one comes in too fast, then it crashes. So if I just do a quick press and release, it's almost like we got... Yeah. We need to, how do we prevent that? We need to make sure that we don't... Yeah, I don't, we need to, we could put commas after it? Does that help us? If we put commas after it, then we could always split on comma, but we don't have, well... So basically so we had basically one whole string, and we split on this, and so our parts of the split were 0 is this, 1, which is the one that we asked for, is this, all of this object and all of this word values, and then index 2, which we're not even touching in the code, would have been this object. So we need to split on new line first. I think we need to split on new line first. It would be like... Because we didn't... Yeah, we didn't get two different sends. We just got a single... We just got a single send. I wonder if we even want to bother doing all of the commands. Like, if we turn it off, but we've already received the command to turn it back on, should we just leave it on? And vice versa? Or do we actually want to run through the list? Because I don't even know, like, how long... Like, we could turn it on by spawning the torch and then turn it back off by unspawning the torch. But if we do that, like, instantaneously, I don't even know... will Minecraft notice it? I guess it's a good exercise to find out. So basically we want to take incoming and say string array incoming commands equals incoming.split new line for I int plus. Now we want to do all of this inside here, but we won't use incoming. We'll use string cur command is incoming commands get I. Then we split on the pipe. And just do everything else the same. Yeah, let's try like that. So then theoretically we should get two, if we go fast enough like that, we should get two different commands and then run them both in the loop. Reload. Yes, that is true as well. There is 4 loops. I forget what they call that, but yeah, you can iterate over the list or the array. But some things I don't use that very much because I found some of the times that I have tried to use that, it doesn't work. And then I just got it in my head that this always works, and I don't really know the rules for which times it works and which times it doesn't, and so I just kind of default to this way. I should probably use that more frequently though. And I guess it should be fine this time because it's like a string array, and I'm pretty sure you can iterate through that. Every now and then though, I come up on a thing that I can't even think of what it is. Maybe it's JSON array. I come on a thing occasionally where I try that and it doesn't work, and then I get bummed out by that syntax again and wish I was writing Python instead of Java. But all right, we reloaded, so we're still just in read state. We should just be able to start pressing our button. We're still good. So our slow events are still fine. If I press and hold, it goes up, stays on, or at least it goes back. So I'm going to do a fast event. Okay. Yeah, it didn't crash, and we see that we did get a true and then a false, and it does no longer crash, but my suspicion about the game was right. It doesn't actually notice. Well, one time it did. I guess it really just depends on how fast it is. That time I didn't see it. But it is printing. My time down here updated, so we did receive new things. We just didn't see anything happen here because it went so fast. Which that's okay, I think. If you received a second command so quick that you didn't even really have a chance to turn it on, it'd be kind of cool, I guess, if it would like just real quick spawn and go away. But at the same time, I think this is perfectly reasonable. That's pretty quick. It's pretty snappy anyway, responding to me pressing. So like, it's definitely enough to like trick my brain into the whole like, it feels like my button here is controlling the piston. And so this is good though. Not crashing, I think, is really all we can hope for, and we process the events so fast that we're already back to off by the time the game actually has a chance to tick and notice if we spawn to that or not. Okay. So this is awesome. This is working. We'll need to make some logic that goes the other way. So right now we are just sending our read states back from Python on the Feather into Minecraft. What we will also need to do is inside of our repeating task, we'll have a list of pins that we want to read the other way, pins that are inside Minecraft that we want to read each tick. If they changed, then we'll generate this same kind of message and send it back from Minecraft to the Feather. Well, no, we won't send this kind of message, I guess. We'll just send our normal pin, like pin D5-1, for instance. Yeah. Let's try to set, I don't know for sure if I'll make it. I'm going to wrap up before too long here, but I am curious if I can do one more going the other way. So let's say if we... Let's use this one. Let's get rid of this. Let's put a lever. And this lever controls this torch? Nope, sure doesn't. I'm so bad at redstone, I don't understand. Does it matter which way it goes? No. Don't. The torch is pulling it high. But I was able to flip-flop a torch earlier. But I don't know... How did I do it, I guess? So this works. Yeah, I'll just use this for now. I don't really want the lever down inside of here. I mean, eventually I want the lever like out over here. You'll run a redstone wire out to over there somewhere. Is it because it's not on? It's almost like there's a Z, or well, a Y. There's like a Y index. So like if the torch is up here, whoops. Can't really get it in frame now. No, that still doesn't work. I don't understand the rules. Ooh, why was it blinky? Ooh, we made a blinky, look at that. I don't know why it works. That's fun. It's not really what I was after, but that's pretty fun. I don't know, why would that not be infinite though, I wonder? I would have... yeah, I'm so green on redstone. I have no idea how this works. I would have expected that to be infinite though, I think, because the switch in the torch should not be on the same Y level. Okay. This is a neat thing though. I kind of like, I'm going to keep this. We're going to come over here and do another one. Okay, so if we put the torch here, can we have this and then a lever here? So we're down one? No. Oops. I swear I did this earlier. Okay, I guess we could just put it here for now. This was working, right? Oh, I keep mixing up right click and left click. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. So what is this block? Check. Okay, this is our location of our input pin going the other way. So I think we should we process ones coming, which one should we do first? Process ones going into Minecraft or process ones going out of Minecraft? Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. Let's do it after this. After we process all of our outgoing stuff, we want to bake a location and check if the torch is on or not, which I think I know how to do. I'm about to find out. So we need to make a location like this. But it will be 27, 76, nope, 77. Minus 1, 514, that's good. Okay. So we have a location, we will get the block, let's get the block. Block is lock.getBlock. Okay. Nope, we want that. Okay. Now, this is where it gets weird. Data block. Data is data. This is where we need to do this. Cast this to light. If data dot right. So we okay. So let's just when in doubt, add more parentheses. Is lit. Okay. Get the location. So one problem is this would crash if we gave it the wrong location because it won't be able to cast if it's not a torch or a torch-like object, a thing that can be lit inside Minecraft. But that's fine. We are giving it a hard-coded spot. We should have a torch there. It's not a problem right now. Get the data, cast it to lightable, check if it's lit. If it is lit, then we want to go and say comport dot we want to do that writing thing. This thing. We almost want to keep states inside of the Java code as well. We pretty much want, I don't know if I'm going to write all of this right now, but really we pretty much want this same type of dictionary on the Java side where we are storing the most recently sent value of the pin state, and that way when we check next time if the state has not changed, we don't send anything. Whereas right now we don't have that previous stuff. I guess, yeah, let's try to write it. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's say hash map of string there's booleans, right? Boolean. I guess we'll call this the same thing. It's a little confusing. I mean, it's the same concept, but it's going the other way, so it's not like the exact same pins as in the Python code, but although I guess we are in Java, we should probably read pin states. So okay, so if it is lit, you know, the other thing we should do is like, so the one problem is we can't have a none. I don't think. D5 is what our pin is on. We have null? Okay, we can have null. Does null equal false? As long as null does not equal false, then this will work for us. So we should say if... I mean, we're basically just hard coding. Yeah, we're basically just hard coding. We don't even need to worry about adding it right now. Why don't we just say we start this out with... Well, you can't put it there, I guess. Read pin states dot put. So we'll do this once at the beginning. We'll just hard code this for now again. We're gonna generate this dynamically eventually, but we'll put D5, we'll set it to null. Now, when we check it, if we don't have to worry about whether or not it's in the hash map, we know it's gonna be there. Basically, we are gonna check the value we had. So if it is lit, then we say if read pin states get D11 is equal to false. If it used to be not lit and now it is lit, then we want to send the command to turn it on, which is this. If it used to be lit, so we had true in our dictionary, and it's true now, then we don't send anything, because we already turned it on last time. Else, if it is not lit, we're going to do basically the same thing. If it used to be true, then set it to false now. So that should do the debouncing for us. It should... Oh, and we need to set it as well. So we would say also in here, after we do this, then read pin states dot put D11. We're supposed to be on 5. D5. Okay. So we put D5 to true because this is lit, and same thing here, but opposite. We set it to false. So that sets our state for next time. That way when we get back around to here and we compare it, we'll do the debouncing for us. I think this should work. Okay. Is this a crash? This sure looks like a crash. Cannot evoke put. Ah, yeah. That makes sense, right? Java, it's not, we haven't instantiated it yet. This is new hash map. Nope, still crashed. Probably doesn't like the null. We're probably not allowed to just put a null in it. Yeah. Okay, so we could make an object that can be true or false or null, right? A third. We could make a three-way Boolean, but that's pretty much what we did on the Python side, because none and false are different in Python. I mean, they're different in Java too, but it just is more strict. It won't let us put null inside a thing that's made for Booleans. We could just get it wrong the first time. That's fine. We'll just get it wrong the first time. We'll start this on false. So if it, 50% chance, depending on which way we're flipping it, if we were flipping it to false, then it wouldn't change the first time, but it'll change the second time and every time thereafter, so that's fine. Eventually we'll work in the fix for the first one somehow. We'll make it to where it sends the first time no matter what. Right now it's only going to send if it happens to be different than what we hard-coded. That's all right. Terminal, reload again. Can I I don't know if I can reload from here. Not looking good. Or it crashed. Maybe it worked, but it crashed again. I don't really trust it. Still did crash. Right. This is D5, not D11. Okay. Reload again. Okay. We did not crash. So, presumably this is just happening. I didn't put any print statements in there, so we're not really going to be able to tell until we try it. So let's get the camera. So currently our LED is on, but currently our redstone in Minecraft is off. So we're not gonna see any change when I flip it the first time. The redstone turned on. It looks like it works though. We sent the command D5-1, but because the LED was already on, there was nothing to see. But it stayed on, so that's good. But now we should be caught up. Now the state of the redstone matches the state of the LED. If I turn this off, yes, it sends back 0. So now we have the other way. When we change the switch in Minecraft, the LED on the circuit goes on and off. That is awesome. And we still have that one down there. It's hard to see, but my this thing is still working. Maybe we could put something that's easier to see on top of it, like will we get some wool? Yellow? And we can see it from further away. Should have used one that's closer. I guess I tried one that's closer, but it failed. That one down there. Oh. Whoops. Okay, so we would need we would actually need a sticky piston. Otherwise our wool just goes up once and never comes down. Whoops. Yeah, that's what we want. Now we can go out from outside to inside and vice versa. From inside to the circuit outside to turn on the LED. All right. Now we're cooking. Now we need a solenoid and a piston costume. Yeah. Sticky piston or a sand block. Yeah, sand would have done it too because it would fall. That's a good point. Okay. I am feeling pretty good about this. We got it working both ways. Of course, we are still hard-coded right now, so like now basically the thing we need to do is build in some more loops inside of the plugin here, and essentially we'll have a loop of pins we care about, and we'll loop over them, and we'll do this whole check on all of them instead of just the one hard-coded one right now. That'll read all of our read pins, send anything we need over to the microcontroller. We're already doing... Well, no. The other thing we'll need is a list of... We'll need a mapping of, like, which feather pin matches up with which location. So we need basically two mappings, one going each way. One of them being feather pins to locations in the world, which will be for the ones that we're sending into Minecraft. And then the other mapping that we need is locations in the world to feather pins, so the opposite way around. Those are the ones we're reading in Minecraft and sending to the feather. So once we have those two mappings, then we'll basically just loop over both of those mappings in these sections here and do all the same things, just send the proper pin name here and check for the proper pin names here and all that stuff. Or vice versa. I think I said those backwards, but sweet. So we're really close, actually. We got really all of the core functionality of this works, which is super awesome. Oh, I don't have the camera up anymore. Yeah, that is so cool. I want to make like a... I want to make like a... like a secret door type thing where it has redstone like these things, and it can... the pistons, and it can like pull a doorway open or something, or make like stairs or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. I would love to have a physical, like maybe this switch here, whenever you switch it, it like reveals a secret doorway or something. This came unplugged again. I need to get a better breadboard switch, maybe. This is pretty sweet though. I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here for today. I got really the main thing I wanted to do today was figure out why our code was stopping before, and we did figure that out. It was getting hung on input because we were sending an extra new line after the fact. So we got that solved, and then we were able to basically get both directions of sync working. We're all hard-coded now, so we're going to make those mappings, and then we'll be able to do it in a loop, and it'll just do all these pins all at once. And then we'll be done. Once everything is working, I think kind of the last thing I'll do is put some finishing touches on the feather itself, like go through and actually make a square for the main chip and just fill in some color detail, basically, like make the USB port silver, maybe with like iron blocks or something. Make the charging port black. Fill in the colors on all these little surface mount things. Just try to pretty up the feather a little bit. Right now it's rendering all as one block type, which is, I think it's like pink sand or something. Stained clay, maybe. Be cool to do I think the wool might look nicer, truthfully. Pink wool. Yeah, honestly, that's more pink. I kind of like the looks of that better. So I might also try to figure out how to modify the schematic to be pink wool instead of... I do like the smoothness of the clay, though. Or whatever this is. Is it not clay? Huh. Here's what we should do, I guess. I think concrete. There's concrete. What does that look like? Ooh. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I think I like the concrete. So I'll try to figure out how to change my schematic over to be concrete. That'll give me the base layer, and then I'll go in and just build in some more details to add like finishing touches to make this look visually like a giant feather instead of just the shape of it, right? Right now we have the shape ending our messed up areas from our little corrupt world incident. But we'll fill in some of the color details as well. There's not a whole lot to do. It's mostly these little surface mount things. So those will be pretty easy. Just do a little black on the flash chip. A couple little silver legs on it or something. Do up the buttons with silver. And then a little dark top. So that'll be the plan. We're getting pretty close. But I am going to wrap it up for now. So thank you to Dexter, Bad Abby, anybody else who watched along today. Definitely appreciate all you folks. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everyone has a good, new year. If you are still hanging out or doing any kind of celebrating, I hope everyone has fun with that and stays safe. I will be back. I think the plan really is next Saturday. So I'm pretty sure Scott's back now. And so next Saturday is probably the next time I'll plan on streaming. I'm pretty excited about this project, so I may stream it in an evening before then. But for sure the next time will be Saturday. If I don't end up doing that, then I should be back on Saturday the 8th at 10 a.m. Central is when I will stream next. So thank you to everyone who's watching, and I'll catch you then.